Welcome again, everyone, to this episode of Vegas. I'm here with intuitive clinical hypnotherapist Tammie Roitman and also master astrologer Kris Gray, and me, Mona Van Joseph. I am an intuitive tarot consultant. I want to remind you all that Vegas Astrology is penned every month by Kris Gray. So you get your monthly forecast for any of your zodiac signs every month, right at the first of the month. So here we are in April, and if you haven't looked at your April horoscope, go to WWDBTV.com and you can read all about yourself. Now, you're also supposed to read your rising sign and your moon, because those also have influences on you, and that we're coming out of a very uncomfortable, don't get any plastic surgery done period, because Kris reminded us of that earlier in the season, right?
Yeah.
So do we have a good date for them to start like getting their nose fixed?
And it includes like Botox too, non-invasive stuff too, haircuts, anything where it's aesthetically changing your appearance. And so that would be after April 12th. So
Okay,
But
so
not medically necessary things,
Yeah.
correct? No,
yes,
seriously.
Yeah.
no, yes, like medical stuff. Yeah, you're fine.
But
anything cosmetic.
but if we wanted a new push-up bra, that's okay.
Yeah, because it's not permanent or not even semi. You can take it off.
I need one.
All right. Okay, so we digress. So the way the program
I like
works is we have a caller come into the program. Our guest comes into the program via Yard Stream, which is like Zoom. And so you'll see a split screen of the person that's calling in for their question. And then the question is going to be answered by the three of us in the order that the guest chooses. So we're having a guest here. His name's Don, and he'll be with us shortly. How do you be on three? Go to www.3.Vegas, choose the How to Be on Three page at the top of the page, and fill out the form. And then we will let you know when we're doing our next series of filming, because we'd love to have you be a guest on three. All right, we'll be right back after this short commercial message.
Great tasting, thirst-quenching, award-winning wines, Pine Hollow Winery. Live music, wine tastings, happy hours.
Best thing in Las Vegas is Pine Hollow Winery.
So wine in sometime, 7018 West Charleston Boulevard, Las Vegas.
Welcome back. We have Dawn in our guest room today. Hi, Dawn. Welcome to the program.
Hi, nice to be here.
Hey, great to see you. So the way the program works is you're going to think of a specific question. You're going to ask the question, and then you're going to choose one of us to answer the question first, and then you'll choose who answers the question second. And then by default, we'll save whoever the best is for last. All right. So that's how the program works. So tell us the question that you would like us to explore for you today.
Okay, question is, will I be able to overcome my pelvic floor digestive issues so I can move forward and enjoy the rest of my life?
Okay, so who would you like to have answer the question for you first?
How about Sarah?
Sarah, you mean Kris or Mona?
I'm sorry, Kris.
Yeah, okay, Kris, you go.
Mona, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
No worries. Okay. Hi, Dawn.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm going to go over your chart just a little bit because it definitely plays into your question.
Yeah.
So you are you're right on the cusp of Taurus and Gemini with your sun sign, and you're also an Aries rising. But what's really unique about your chart is you actually have a lot of Cancer influence. So the sign of Cancer, if you were to read the characteristics, you're going to resonate very closely with that. So I have to say that there's a couple things that are really important. Just looking at your chart, a couple things that are really important for your overall health. Everything that happens in our body starts in our mind. And so emotional balance and security is really, really important for your well-being. Also, your anything connected with water, like electrolytes, even like blood pressure, things like that. Very, very important to keep those in line. But since it starts in your mind first, this is going to be any type of meditation that would allow you to clear your mind. Having so much Cancer influence in your chart, this could be any kind of emotional upsets or anything that can kind of cause conflict. Even if it's not a big conflict, it affects you more than others. Specifically, like when you eat, you have to have a very peaceful environment. Like you can't eat when it's any kind of tension or uncomfortable. And your part of your chart that rules your health actually is ruled by Virgo. In Virgo, the part of the body ruled by Virgo is the intestines. So any type of nervous energy translates into digestive issues. So the key to overcoming that is that getting a really balanced emotional state, because it's connected to your emotional health. So any type of stress management, meditation practices, anything that you can do to release the past or any kind of emotional attachments would be really beneficial in clearing out the tensions, the stress and tensions that affect your digestive system. So
Okay.
that to be the key. So can you get through it? Absolutely. But you will need to focus on releasing anything that you're holding on to, attachments, emotional slights, or any kind of grief, things like that. And then also maintaining a very healthy, like, work-life balance. And so that would be any kind of stress management techniques that you can adopt would be really, really beneficial for you.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so who would you like to have answer the question next?
How about you, Mona?
Okay, you got it. All right, so you're going to hear me clearing the cards real quick for you. Sorry, I just had this flash about you while I was shuffling the cards, and I'm going to tell you my two little flashes before I actually draw your cards. The first one is that you are the king of procrastination. That
Yes.
it feels like it feels like you will do whatever you need to do to avoid doing the thing you need to do. So here we are in tax season right now, and you're probably avoiding addressing that. So I'm just saying that you're somebody that you put off until the very last minute things that need to be done. Now, here's why I think you do it is because you're pretty bright, Don. When you try to figure something out, you figure it out pretty quickly. But when you were in, and I think this is high school when this happened, is that you learned that if you crammed for a test the night before and you passed it and you did pretty well, why should you spend a week studying for an exam before you actually do it? Let's just cram the night before, get some donuts and some coffee and just sugar and caffeine up and stay up all night and then pass it. So you have this vibe of I can wait to the last minute and still do it right. So I think that's kind of why you do it. That's the first thing that came to me about your question. And a little disclaimer here. We are not physicians, nurses, chiropractors, any connection to the medical industry whatsoever. The vibrations that you're getting on this program are our impression and our opinion, as well as some of the things that we're picking up about you intuitively. So that's my disclaimer that none of us are medical professionals. So I want to say this is I wonder if your body has become allergic to something that you've loved your whole life and never thought you were allergic to. So my question to you is, have they done all the allergy tests with you about what your body ends up being able to assimilate?
No, not so much allergy test, but they have run me through the mill at every orifice I have. So,
well, thanks for sharing. Okay.
I mean,
All right. So my thought would be that you do whatever you need to do to put your body into an alkaline state. So the more alkaline your body, the more it can heal itself. All right. I also wonder if, and this again, this is just my opinion. I wonder, and again, I haven't even turned your cards over yet. All right. The other thing I would recommend that you do, and you're going to think again, this is a very unusual thing for me to suggest, but I would stock up, go to Dollar Tree and stock up on a whole bunch of Epsom salts. And then I want you to get in a bathtub with a whole package, like 2 cups of Epsom salts. And I want you to sit in as warm as you can stand water, all right?
Right.
And I want you to imagine that the Epsom salt, this is power of your mind, that I want you to imagine that the Epsom salt is pulling away discomfort out of your lower half of your body. Just you imagine it. And then you as you let the tub drain, continue to sit in the tub and imagine that all of that discomfort is being pulled down the drain and away from you. Okay. So
Okay.
now I'm going to turn the cards over for you. But I had to tell you those 3 things because they flashed into my thoughts while I was concentrating on you. So I'm drawing your cards right now. And you see that I use my left hand because it's closer to my heart.
Yeah.
So you have some very interesting cards here. So the first card is talking about you've been sitting in this pain for a long time. This is not new pain. This is old pain. All right. You
Yeah.
are also, this card right here, you're with the right person spiritually. So your partner, your wife, she is the perfect person in the world for you because it's almost as if the roles are reversed in a way that she acts as your knight in shining armor, and in a way you're the damsel in distress. And this is not any dig against your masculinity at all. This is not what I mean by that. But I actually think in a former life that you guys were together in a former life, and that she was the man in the relationship and you were the woman in the relationship, which means that when she tells you what to do, you do it.
Yeah.
And you actually don't really argue. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Right. And because she helps you time and again, she's helped you. All right. The card called Patience Reversed means that when I said procrastination earlier, that's you not taking action, and it's getting to the point where your back is up against the wall and you do have to take action. But it is also a really cool card because remember when I suggested that you sit in the bathtub with the Epsom salts, right? It is sitting, but also allowing something to help you or make it happen. The card, that's the next card. And I'm going to go into the traditional meaning of this card because it's incredibly intense. All right. The traditional meaning of this card is called the devil. In traditional tarot, it's the major number 15 card. And it means that you're finally ready to face your devil. All right. Whatever that is. So a writing exercise that I would suggest that you do would be to write down all the really crappy things that have happened in your life that have held you back or you thought have held you back this whole time. Oh, I hear your dog echoing what I'm saying because your dog's barking as I'm telling you that. You're going to write down all of this negativity that you have had to address in this lifetime. Now, the good news about this is you're paying off a whole bunch of karma in this lifetime. But now it's time to dismiss the devil. All right. You have the next card is also a card I'm going to describe as the traditional meaning of this card because it's a card called guilt. All right. Guilt is the most stunning, limiting vibration that we can put ourselves in because not only does it stop us or isolates us from what we want, it also is an excuse to stay where we are. So it's a very weird vibration. Now, happily, you have this card reversed. All right. So in traditional tarot, the guilt card in the Osho Zen tarot resonates to a card called the 8 of Swords in traditional tarot. And the 8 of Swords shows a woman tied up, blindfolded in a swamp with 8 swords around her. Now, if you look at her, you can see where she's stuck. you can also see way in the distance in the card that there's a castle on the hill. The castle on the hill represents hope, right? Happily, you have the card reversed, which means you're still kind of stuck in the same place. So there are still 8 swords around you. You're still tied up. You're still in a swamp, but the blindfold's off. So now you can see the castle in the distance. You can see your way clear to, yes, there is a solution to this. And in that actual old depiction of that card, it literally means, well, now you can figure out a way to get closer to the swords, use the blade of the sword to unbind yourself, gather up the swords for barter and protection, and make your way through the swamp to the castle. All right. So you are in the process right now that you can see the castle. You can see the other side of this, and I'm going to use the word adventure. You can see the other side of this karmic challenge. And it all starts with you saying to yourself, I want to feel well. I pray to feel well. And that you want it because it is the thing that you want in your heart of hearts. So I hope that some of the things that I've said to you resonate, but I'm going to turn it over to Tammie right now and let you hear her insight.
Thank you.
Hi, Don. It's grateful to be in service to you. How are you?
Hi, Tammie. How are you?
Try to always be amazing.
How was last night?
You just asked me.
Last night fun? Last night fun?
Yeah.
Good.
What kind of comes to me is not only is there a bit of anger within you that sits in your stomach, but also that you've kind of taken on a mindset as if what people have done or what their choices have been in their own lives, you have felt are attached to you in some way. And they're not. They're those people's decisions, those people's choices, those people's behaviors that have absolutely nothing to do with you. Whether you're their father or you were their husband or you were their son, it doesn't matter. That's their stuff. It's not your stuff. And you have taken it on the way that it comes across to me. And you are better off spending some time back to when you were 1 or 2 years old playing, because you forgot how to play. And you maybe what Mona said about procrastinating, you're a nature guy. The nature is always going to ground you, and that's always going to be your happy place. And you don't spend enough time there. And do you work?
No, I'm retired.
Okay, so there really would be no reason, not to get in your car and go to Utah or Southern Nevada, Northern Nevada, or, out where it's more naturey. And I see like you fish. So I would have to imagine that also is your happy place, but that also shows how grounded you are in a natural environment opposed to kind of like a city chaos.
Yeah,
and you're
sure.
going to heal much faster by spending more time in nature, grounding yourself and letting go of this past that you desperately hold on to. I think because you really don't know what life is going to be when you don't have it anymore, but you're going to free yourself. And I agree with Kris. Meditation for you is it's a must, because one, you're good at it. You're intuitive on your own ability, but you don't trust that either. So maybe you start doing it and then you stop doing it. And it's almost like a sabotage of, okay, maybe I'm feeling a little bit better, but no, I'm going to go back. And I'm going to encourage you not to do that moving forward, and to start letting go of the past and just forgiving yourself and forgiving everybody else, and move on with your life, because you're going to see that more things are going to come together for you in a more peaceful and loving way if you're willing to do that.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
All right. So Dawn, give us a little feedback about your experience here on 3.
Well, the Epsom salt had already been brought up to me from Tammie, and she said you should get on it right away. It will relax you. You meditate in that bathtub, and you'll be amazed at how you feel afterwards. So that was a click. As far as, yeah, right now I'm into selling a house, getting a house ready to sell. So I'm, trying to get this together, that together. And I am the biggest procrastinator alive, I think. But I will get it done. So I wait until, hey, we got to get out of this house by next week. Well, we will be out of the house next week. I will get it done. And,
wow, that is waiting till the last minute.
well, I do that, and I figure I owe it to myself if I feel that way, because, hey, if I go and do something when I'm not wanting to do it, it's not going to be done very good. So
can I add something?
Yeah.
Something that came to me while you were talking.
yeah,
Do you happen to have fish aquariums in your house?
I do not.
Okay, I'm going to recommend, if you have any interest in it, especially the salt aquariums, but they could be freshwater too. But I feel like the aquariums, just the noise of the little bubbles and the fish, I feel like it would be very, very relaxing for you. So whenever you are trying to calm your mind and go to that kind of still place during meditation, if you had a fish aquarium nearby where you could, watch the fish and kind of listen to the little bubbles of the filters, I feel like any kind of water therapy or being around water is very, very soothing for you.
Okay, yeah, relaxing for sure.
All right. Well, Dawn, thank you so much for being a part of our program today. We love that you were here. And, please keep in touch with us and let us know what's going on with you. All right.
Sure will. Thanks for the
All right.
invite.
Thanks, Dawn. Okay. All right, you guys. Wow. Sometimes you can really feel how we're all just really getting into somebody, And one of the things that I love about working with these two fabulous women is that it feels incredibly collaborative, that we're all here for the benefit of whoever our guests are. We all care. And I do want to say one more time that we're not medical professionals. So when we don't know what the question is when a person is going to pose their question, but we will say to you that we are not a doctor, a nurse, any kind of medical practitioner. So our opinions are just that, our opinions. And they may be coming from things that we've experienced ourselves that have worked. So like both Tammie and I are a big fan of Epsom salts. I think Kris is a fan of Epsom salts, or will be soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of the easiest ways for you to cleanse your system. Taking an Epsom salt bath and allowing the negative energy to be sucked out by the Epsom salts, leached away from you, is the fastest way for you to allow the light and your true nature to fill you up. So thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. I want to remind you that you can be on the program by going to WWDBTV and watching the program on YouTube, as well as the website, www.THREE.Vegas. You can connect with Tammie or Kris or myself there if you'd like to have a private reading. If you want to know all about yourself, astrology-wise, you call Kris. If you want to get to that true place, that true essence of who you are, you contact Tammie. And then if you want to see what I have to tell you, predicting your potential with cards, you give me a shout out. Until next time, thank you so much for tuning in. John Stiles, thank you for providing this wonderful venue for us. And we'll see you next time.
The cast members of Three are not professional attorneys, CPAs, psychologists, marriage counselors, physicians, or financial advisors. You are provided with opinions that are unique to each of the intuitive performers. Three is presented to you for your entertainment.